Warning, it is the opinion of 4th Street Productions, LLC, and the Low Life podcast that we should inform you that some language used in the recording could possibly be considered offensive, and you have been warned. So if you decide to listen to the Low Life podcast, then don't complain like...
Yo, you're now listening to the Low Life podcast or whatever. This here's the lowdown. Welcome back to the motherfucking Low Life podcast, duty. This the fucking podcast with Nicky and J-Dub. All right, dudes. Thanks. And maybe dudettes. I don't know who listening out there. My factor's probably nobody. But here we are again. Let's jump into the lowdown.
Hello.
So what's up, baby?
What's up?
How you doing, puppy?
I'm doing good, yo. Doing very good. How are you? Yeah.
I'm pretty good, dude. I can't complain, actually. I can complain. But, you know. Did I watch what? Yeah, let's talk about movies. Nothing I can actually complain about.
Yeah, shut up. Did you watch Dune, yo?
Oh, shit, son. I did watch Dune. But I hit it with that old HBO Maximilian. So,
yeah, no, I'm not going to the movie theater. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Dave Bautista's great and everything. I love him.
Do you not want to go to the movie theater because you got the Johnson & Johnson shot?
No, I don't know. Unless I go to the movie opening, unless it's a movie I have to see the night it comes out, I don't end up ever going. It always if I don't see the night of, I'm like, all right, well, I'll see it when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm not like a big night of anymore, unless it's like a Marvel movie. You know,
unless it's like Marvel or Batman, I'm not gonna go to the theater.
Also, don't know if I'll do Batman. You know, just because of the whole shooting fiasco with the Joker. Motherfuckers like that up, dude. You know, you claim to save the whole town. They'll come and prove Batman is not real.
I don't know, man. That Paul Dan. I just found out that kid from There Will Be Blood plays the Riddler, and I love There Will Be Blood, and I love that kid.
That guy's a fucking psycho.
He's awesome,
he's a maniac.
Yo. Daniel, please. When he at the end, yo, it's so good. I love that movie. Yeah, I just saw it for the first time like a year ago.
Did you see? I think it's called like Strangers or something. He plays like this.
It's a horror movie.
It's like a kind of, yeah.
Yeah, they like because you were home.
Chokes the dog.
Yeah, they literally go, "Why are you doing this?" And they go, "Because you were home." I was like, "Yeah, this is
no, not
that's
that.
Strangers.
Not that movie. Not that. That one's cool where they just knock on people's door and kill them. No, this is like a movie about like a missing girl, and Paul Dano plays a suspect, and like he's outside at night, just like by himself, walking like his mom's like little poodle. And like out of nowhere, he just like lifts the fucking thing and starts choking the dog, and it's like,
he's a creepy.
I'm like, yo, I hate Bull. He's so ugly and weird. Yo,
he is ugly and weird.
From Girl Next Door with the hog.
I never saw that. Girl Next Door. No, I never saw it.
With Emil Hirsch and
he is.
He is. Oh, fucking Matty Ice from deep left field. Yeah, he is, dude. You can tell that guy's got all dick and no heart. He's a psycho, dude. He's
nutty, yo. He's got that like blank stare in his eyes.
Yeah, he looks like the Scream mask. I hate that guy. I hate a tall guy with a long dick.
I don't know why he's the Riddler. I don't know why you hate Paul Dano's dick.
He just doesn't deserve it.
Not you don't even know if he has it.
Dude, any guy who is 6 foot plus and 120 pounds hung like a fucking mule ski.
Yeah, it's all just going down there.
That's it, dude. Blood flows in one direction. That's it, puppy. What else has been going on with you besides Dune? Although we didn't talk
Dune?
about it. I love Dune, by the way. I liked it. Did you like it real quick?
I loved it. Thought it was dope. I'm pissed. It was only like half the movie. I thought it was going to be the whole thing. I wouldn't see him ride worms and shit.
Same. I was pretty disappointed with like the lack of the battle at the end. But you know, not
Ride
bad.
a fucking worm.
Yeah. Zendaya, firebomb with blue eyes though. Whoa.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. She doesn't like. She's fine. She seems reggy.
Yeah, she's reggy with normal eyes. Blue eyes.
What's that Bond girl's name, yo? The one in the new movie, Ana de Armas or some shit like that.
Oh, she's the best.
She's cool.
I was actually pissed, but how little she was in Bond. We might have talked about that last time, but yeah, she is a fucking you know, Ben Affleck was smashing on that.
He was
a couple months ago. Yeah,
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
In what?
Phantoms?
I don't know what that is. What's Phantoms?
It's a Ben Affleck movie from the early 90s. Watch it. He's the bomb.
What's it about? What's it about?
Are you cloning Jane Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yeah.
That's like I'm not a big Jane Silent.
That's what they say about
the
Ben
Christmas
Affleck.
movie with fucking what's his name?
Billy Zane.
Nah,
when he played the Phantom.
Jimmy Gandolfini, where he's Ben Affleck's like dad. Remember that, John?
What movie's
so
that?
good, dude.
No. What else?
Oh, how about this? Did you see this made me fucking honestly laugh my ass off. Did you see this whole little beef with Lil Boozy and fucking Lil Nas X, son?
No, you have to explain this to me.
Oh, dude, it's so good. All right, so I don't know if you know much about Boozy these days.
Boozy is not allowed on Instagram, and he's a rapper. And they like kicked him off when they started doing. He would do like live like strip shows on his Instagram feed, and so he's not allowed to have his Instagram back. I know that.
I'm pretty sure he's back, or at least on Twitter.
He's on Twitter. I don't know what he's not
banned.
Allowed. Yeah, he can't get back on Instagram. He's on Twitter.
Dude, this guy might be the funniest bull of all time. He has an issue with how to say homosexuals. You know, like. Boozy, not a huge fan of the gays, dude. But you know, I mean, it's his culture, where he's from, you know, / it's his feelings. I don't know, dude. I don't mind the gays; they're all right by me. But so anytime somebody puts some shit out, he gets really tight, and it's really like not even just so much gay, but like.
Well, he got mad when Lil Nas X posted that photo of him with like a baby belly. Did you see that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boozy got like all upset about it.
Yeah. He's upset again, dude. By the way, knock knock, who's there? Badass Boozy, very angry at gay last Lil Nas, dude. He's so mad. So what is it Lil now? Nas trolled him, and like put up a video and was like, "Yo, man," like he was like he seems so genuine. He's honestly hilarious, Lil Nas.
He is my funny, guy, yo. He does it on like he knows that he's doing it on purpose.
Oh yeah,
it makes it funnier because he's like trolling.
He's trolling.
It's hilarious.
So Lil Nas.
Side note, did you see that thing he wore to the Met Gala, that like gold armor thing?
Oh, dude, he looked like the guy from fucking Power Rangers.
I would 1,000% wear that. 1,000% would like to try. I would like to at least try it on and like walk around in it. Like I don't know that it'd be comfortable, but it looks cool.
I would make it comfortable. That's the coolest armor ever. I would just get long johns from fucking Walmart because they're the best ones. You'd be so nice in there. But anyway, so you know, Lil Nas X puts out a video, very seemingly sincere video, claiming that him and Boosie are working on a song together.
Yeah.
And just ended it. And the internet's like, you know, is this one of those like Eminem, Elton John deals? You know, like is Boosie getting back in with like, you know, is he making amends?
They did do a song together, didn't they? They performed it like
Eminem and Elton?
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, Elton did Dido's part of Stan. He's like, my tears don't come. Right. He killed it. He should have been on the OG one, honestly. But all right, yo, this is what Boozy, and I had to take a picture of this because I didn't want to misquote it. Like, that's how good it actually is. This is what he tweeted at him. He said, "Stop trolling me, F-bomb. Double G F-bomb." And then he said, and this is all caps on LOL. You know? And then he did 2 like red exclamation points. And then he said, "You a whole bitch playing with a gangster." SMH, which means shake my head on Black Twitter. you can keep sucking dick and getting fucked. And instead of like saying N, you got to remember how many characters you get? Not a lot.
Yeah.
He just did an N, you know, and getting fucked in your ass. And peace. And hashtag you hate yourself. I would too if I was you. LOL. Nas X. If you hashtag commit suicide, which is now going to be on all the hashtag commit suicide fucking forums, you would do the world a huge favor. And then he did two hands up, almost like
yeah.
You know, and then it says, nobody wants you here.
I like the Lil Nas X. I'm on his side. What's Boozy so mad about?
I think, I don't know, Boozy went
he's
to
like,
jail
I'm like,
for a while, dog.
Yeah.
He's like, he don't play that shit. Like when Will Smith's like daughter or whatever came out and said like she was trans or whatever the fuck happened, or actually it was Dwayne Wade's daughter, son. You know, he was like, "How y'all gonna let a little 12-year-old cut his dick off?" like he was trolling. But he's so funny about it because like he doesn't understand political correctness.
He's so angry about it,
dude. He was in jail for a minute, son. Like he was just in there.
Did you see Dave?
Not.
Do you see Dave Chappelle's stand up where he talks about the baby and like the baby shot a man in a Walmart in North Carolina?
Dude. I honestly thought that, and like I don't want to like catch any heat, but I thought that was like one of the greatest stand-ups of all time.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was hilarious. Yeah, his story about like Daphne and shit at the end is fantastic. Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Turning into George Carlin.
Fantastic.
Honestly. It's very good. He's very good.
Time.
Oh, he's so good. All right, how about we do one more little, because I just have to hear your opinion on this, and then we can fucking, you know, move on with our lives here. But Jon Gruden.
We
talked about
dude, they fired him very quickly.
Oh, dude. Nah, I don't even think they fired him. He stepped down.
Yeah, they did. Oh, did he? Well, I mean, they probably gave him a chance. These are like, you can do it, we can do it.
I'm pretty sure he got to keep all his money and shit.
Yeah, but they're probably like, you can do it, or we can. Like, if he refused to, they wouldn't have fired him.
Yeah.
But he said, like, somebody came in defense of him because he said the one guy had rubber lips, like big lips, like a tire or something like that.
Nah, see, that was out of context, I think.
Yeah, they're like, Gruden does say that all the time, like in the sense of like he runs his mouth like he's got rubber lips.
Yeah, it was like
racist in the sense, but
yeah. But either way, if the racist stuff didn't get him,
and he
definitely did.
He called like Roger Goodell a pussy. I'm like, all right.
That's the best. No, that's so true. He said Roger Goodell like isn't a football guy. He's a pussy, and that's so fucking true. Like and not because he let Michael Sands in the league, you know, who by the way, you know, spirit fingers or not, that guy led the SEC in sacks. You know, the game.
Yeah, but he sucked in the NFL.
No,
the bull now is good.
Bro, they cut him in training camp after a preseason where he led the preseason in sacks. And it was Jerry Jones. Like, I'm telling you, like, it was, he got done dirty, but like, you know.
The Raiders bull now is nice, yo. Nasir, the dude on the Raiders now, he's good, yo.
He's gay bull?
Yeah, he's openly homosexual on the Raiders, and he's nice, yo.
Oh, well, that's probably why Gruden got cut. You know, it's like he had a gay dude on his team and they heard about that. That is hilarious. It's not hilarious. I'm sure it's really hurtful and stuff, but
he also wasn't employed.
Are so funny. Like, he is so funny. He's like every football coach I've ever had. I played my whole life. I've never met one football coach who wasn't like him.
Dude, our coaches just say wild shit to us, yeah. My one coach would wear shorts all year so that you couldn't complain that it was cold in like December. He'd be like, well, if I'm not cold, you're not cold. And I'm like, I'm 12.
Yeah,
they were a 40-year-old man who has like 9 beers in him. Like, of course you're not cold.
They're wild guys, those guys. I honestly love them. My whole life I thought I would be like, not like them, but I thought I would be already coaching by now, you know, but life took me in a different direction that maybe, you know, I had to just hold off from being around kids for a while. But
got to take a little step away from the kids just to do some
drugs. Yeah, dude. I had to moonwalk away from the kiddos. But I could be back. But honestly, the best thing about Jon Gruden, I don't know if you heard this through all this mess, but did you ever hear the story about him losing his virginity, bro?
No.
Oh my God. So he tells this like great tale and it's in print. So I've never actually heard him say it, but I just know his voice so well and I could hear him. So he talks about the time he lost his virginity, he was like, yeah, dude, I was, at what is it? The Notre Dame, John. Is that North Bend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, North Bend. Indiana.
Yeah. So he's like,
South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend. There you go.
South Bend.
Two idiots.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's like telling the story about how he lost his virginity. He's like, yeah, and like I had sex for the first time to the Fighting Irish theme song, like the fight song. And the interviewer's like, no shit, like, it was like during a game under the bleachers or something. And he was like, nah, it was playing in my head. He said it was playing in his fucking head.
He loves it.
I ripped out my earphones, but yeah, dude, it was in his head. How hilarious! He's a fucking maniac. Dude.
John Tafford is?
Love him.
The bar rescue guy. So they asked him one time. He was on like one of those shows where they asked you a bunch of dumb questions, and they were like, after you climaxed, if any song could play, what song would you choose? And John Tafford's like, Eve of Destruction. You know that song? The Eastern world, it is exploding, bodies loading, bullets loading. So that's the song that he chooses, right? So like a week goes by, and I'm jerking off on my phone, and I'm done, and I close all the browsers, and as I'm standing there, I bring up YouTube and I play like Eve of Destruction.
Did it hit like you said it would?
It kind of does, like in that dulled sense of like relaxation. You're like, how's the chorus go? And they tell me over and over again, we're friends, we're on the eve of destruction. It's good. So then afterwards, so every time I'm jerking off, when you close your phone, it like suggests a website you should open. It's like YouTube video Eve of Destruction song. Always there.
You know what mine would be? Hungry, hungry, hippos. Hungry, dude, the moment the sperm drips from, because I don't shoot it anymore, dude. As soon as that thing drips down, I'm like, oh, I could use a sandwich, dude, right now. It'd be Hungry Hippo theme song.
I got on a kick of, I used to have a room that had a bathroom, like I had my own bathroom. So I was just jerking off into my sink all the time. And I just found it funny. And I did it one time where I would like make like that noise while I did it. So like I don't fucking know, like I'm doing it for a year. I find it funny. I only do it to myself, but I find it hilarious.
How often did you need a Drano that sink between that disgusting fucking Norristown beard and your car?
Yeah, dude, the hair and the cake, it like makes cement,
Ew. Yeah,
it's a mess. You gotta get baking soda and vinegar. It'll clear the drain right out.
Bro, come on your fucking stomach like a normal guy.
No, that's disgusting. My one buddy does that. And I'm like, why? That in the shower sucks, yo. Shower's a mess.
Dude, standing over your sink and jerking off and making fart sounds before is a psychotic move. You're the biggest slow life I ever met. Clip it. We're moving on, dude.
It's so much cleaner. It's so much easier.
A fucking refugee jerking off in a hospital, dude. What are you talking about?
It's got to be taller than the sink.
Can I ask you something, Justin?
Yeah.
Why the sink and why not the toilet?
Because the toilet's so much lower. The sink is I'm taller than the sink.
But But like you only dump stuff in the toilet, right? You have your teeth, you wash your hands, there may be a toothbrush, like all of that stuff you use to clean is on the sink. Everything that's in the toilet is dirty.
Yeah, but the sink's deep. I'm shooting it down into the sink, right? Do
you shoot it?
What kind of arm does your dick got?
Does it parachute out, or does it is it a straight line? Because I'm pretty sure if you can piss in there, you could probably shoot it, right? Like
you shoot silver bullets, dude.
What are you talking about? Saying, you got freaking you got Spider-Man ropes coming out of you, and it's like. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I just now like
it's a controlled demolition. It fires right into there. And you turn.
That's wild, bro. Okay. They call me Mickey Dribbles, dude. Since I've been a kid, dude, I've been a little dribbler. That shit, I never shot, never. And that's embarrassing, dude. I wish I did, but
I mean, maybe you just need to take like a day off, and you can get a stockpile, and then you get a little spider web going.
Yeah,
I've spent a week. I've fucking slap my dick in a toilet seat, and I pull my balls up around my shoulder to try to shoot that fucker. It is what it is. All right. we're moving on, dude. Fuck off. That was a lowdown.
Marty, we have to find out. Are you a lowlife?
What's up, my fuckers? This is Are You a Lowlife, where our producer, fucking, Maddie Fat Sacks, just throws out some wild questions to determine whether or not J-Dub or I is a lowlife, which we probably are. Let's fucking do it. Ready, J-Dub?
Yeah.
All right, dude.
All
I know
right.
you're a lowlife.
Just real quick, remember this? Sorry to interrupt, but the one time, so we had this kid we used to work with who was real sensitive about his weight, apparently, unbeknownst to either of us. And you called him because he had weed and once in a while. He'd sell weed every once in a while. He's like, "Oh, what's up, Maddie Fat Sacks?" And remember, he got like mad sensitive about you calling him like Fat Sack. Like, don't call me that.
Get it?
Don't call me fat. And we were like, what? And he's like,
I'm
don't
like,
call me that.
dude, it means you got money. And he's like,
Yeah, like you got a fat sack of weed. It got like all sensitive. It got like real awkward in that RAV4 for a couple minutes.
Dude, a lot of times some guys just don't get it. All right, Maddie Ice, roll it.
Sorry.
I loved it.
So
That guy's a pussy, by the way. I remember him.
first question: would you trade an inch of your schwanz or for an inch of height, or vice versa? I.e., would you take an inch off your schwanz and add it to your height, or would you take an inch from your height and add it to your schwanz?
Is Schwanz Jewish for Weenie?
Yeah, it's
Well, Schmeckel as well, and Schmuck. No, Schmuck is idiot. Yeah, but Schmeckel.
Oh, Matt, are you from the other side, dude? I never knew that.
I am not, but I did used to work in a very Jewish area.
Got it.
I'm not one of the chosen, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
You're not one of God's people.
Not all of us are chosen, my man.
Justin looks like it, doesn't he? He looks like
I
walked
sure
right out
do.
the desert.
He looks like
dude.
Rabbi J-Dub. Let me
Yeah,
tell you.
First time I heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you're I
Moses.
forget where
You
I
smoke
was.
crack.
One time. They're like, you're Jewish, right? And I looked at them. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not at all. I'm
You're like,
confirmed.
Excuse me, buddy. I'm saved. Okay. This is a Martin Luther beard.
I love Jesus.
And a Moses beard. Love that. All right.
You trading some dick for some height? Some
Dude,
some
I don't
height for some
think.
dick.
Because I'm right, in my opinion, dude. I'm right on the cusp of like being just good enough in both that if I took one or the other, I'd either be a short guy with just a kind of better dick, or you know what I mean, a fucking
a tall guy
really
with a tiny
short
dick.
barely taller guy. You know?
Yeah,
I-
1
I'm
inch
good at
it isn't
coming-
enough for height. I agree with you.
Right. Yeah. Not enough, dude. Not 1 inch, bro. Because I mean, dude.
Yeah, like I'm tall enough. I could risk it all. I could be like a 5'3" dude with like a 17-inch pipe.
Oh, dude, if I were you, yeah, I would go down to average height. I'd go 5'9", and then 'cause how tall are you?
I'm 6'1". I could sacrifice 8 inches and still be a male. I could add a whole other dick to this, John.
I would, dude. That'd be my magic genie, dude. If I got 3 wishes, my first one would be longer dick. 2, bigger balls, because you can't be a long dick guy with smaller balls. I can tell you that right now. And
Couldn't you
3,
encompass that in one wish?
What?
Couldn't you just be like bigger genitals overall?
If you
depends,
really
dude.
wanted
these
to,
genies, dude.
That
they're
genie is a
fucking-
real stickler.
Yeah,
if he's
they'll
not
get
letting you
you,
do
dude.
both.
yeah. If you
they'll
really
put
wanted
balls
to,
in your dick.
have you ever done steroids?
No,
I
mean,
have.
obviously, I'm very.
And dude,
Did your ween shrink or grow?
grow. It was like,
What?
yo, dude, massive. And it's still, I mean, thankfully, I think it wasn't at full. It's not at full steroid, but you do get like a forever inch,
Did you do HGH? Because I know HGH does that. I bought like a year supply of HGH
Yeah.
and fucking forgot it when I went to college.
Yeah.
And I live like 4 hours away in Pittsburgh, so I couldn't ask my mom like, "Hey, can you mail me my steroids?" The next time I came home, dude, it was all expired, and I was so nervous. I know, I was pissed.
Yeah. I only did it a couple of times when I was working for this guy in Easton, and I was like, I think I was just graduated high school, so I was like 19, and it was just a shot in the ass. So I don't know what the hell it was. I was just looking to party.
Just one time?
Nice, dude.
No, I did
Once
it twice.
travel.
I was a counselor at a wrestling camp, but one of the other guys there had it, and he was like, dude, you want to try it? And I just remember like I did like 20 million push-ups in like 2 days, and then I had like the part of my ass where it happened was like rock hard.
Dude, that's so gay. He got the Pfizer, John. He got the 2 week. He got the 2 shot. Boy, that's so fire. I always wanted to try roids, but I heard it made your dick smaller. So I never did.
I mean, I don't know.
Again, dude, I'm on the brink, son.
Yeah, it doesn't make your balls smaller.
The balls for sure was like
smaller.
Oh, non-existent, like cold all the time.
Is that the reason why your dick looked bigger though? Because that's my.
No, you got some, like, you definitely got some swell for sure. It was like,
you walking out the chub.
Would you ever?
You get more length? Or
did you ever have like, you got more of both. It was just like it went up a size, you know. You went from like a medium to a large. It was great.
What?
You know?
Medium to a large?
I'm not saying like I'm not saying like 4 inches, but I'm saying like, do you ever have those days where you're like, you know, little schmeck day and big schmeck day, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like little
sometimes 2 times in one day. I'm like, I wake up, no dick, go to sleep, all the dick.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, like some days you're like, mama, look what you gave me over here, you know?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Yeah. So
I know my mom didn't give me this dick, dude. I can tell you that. This probably came from my dad, if we're being honest.
Good for him. But either way, yeah. So it's kind of like that, but a little more. So it's like big schmeck day, and like it's more of that. So it's like you're the biggest big schmeck day you could.
This is a good advertisement for steroids.
Yeah, I want to try them, dude.
I mean,
I'll do 2 cycles.
Let's all get cycled out.
Call me Mickey 2 Sykes, dude. Whatever.
Do you like back acne and way too many hormonal swings?
I'm already.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was at a very young
I'm bipolar.
Age. I was at a very young age anyway, so like the hormones were all over the place. You know what I mean?
I might be able to use a little testosterone, Jackie.
They do sell that. You can get that at any GNC. You don't have to get the like ostrich fucking steroids or whatever the hell they use.
Yeah, but if we're talking make your dick bigger, you know, it's probably under the fucking table kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Maybe that's something we should experiment with. Like, you know, maybe crawl before we can walk. Hey, see if you can get it,
tester.
If you can get it from the test, then why go to the stairs? You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I'm with you. They call me Mickey Blue Chews, dude. I've tried all that shit from India.
Oh, dude, the best.
Have you tried those?
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, you gotta like. I listened to this wrestling podcast, Something to Wrestle. A shout out, great show. But on there they have, you know, they give you the code and you can get like your first order's free. So I tried it. I still have one actually, right? Because
testosterone?
No, the Blue Chew.
Oh, nice,
dude. Because you get 3, right? And I remember I broke it into quarters and I was like, whoosh, you know, it was like, it just felt bad for everybody. You know, it's just in the way.
My buddy, he works for the union, so you know they got all the connects. He got me a couple Viagras last year. I was doing that. I was splitting them into 4, and dude, I was rocking out, dude. I was like literally like the Rocky Marciano, dude. I'm fucking, you know, the Italian stallion over it. I was rocked out, dude.
I've never tried any of those things. My brothers tried the gas station Johns. Well, like what's behind the counter?
Oh, never. I did them once. The goat weed gimmick, the worst. I was like puking all over with a rager. It was so awkward.
With the rager,
he said like one of them made him terribly sick. Like gave him a headache and made him feel terrible. Dude, but there's this other one that's like banging. Apparently,
it's like niacin. I think one of them made me like red and itchy, and I was like sweating. But nah, I got one of those. That was a real good.
Behind
the gas station?
Yeah, I forget.
Was it you? Maybe you told me there's a good one. There was somebody in my life who was like, "There's a good one." I was like, "Is there?" And he's like, "I'm telling you."
Yeah, dude.
Good luck with that. All right, so moving on. Next question. So speaking of sinks and stuff like that, where is the weirdest place that you have ever splooshed?
Alone?
Yeah.
Definitely. You can't say your ex's face. That doesn't count.
Once I forget why. I don't know why, but one time I was driving. I had to be like 16. I was driving home and I started jerking off while I was driving, but like I didn't like think about how this race was going to end.
Sure.
So I was just driving down like a lonely, empty road, and I just pulled over and just jerked off on the side of the road and got back in my car.
Wait, you're in your car, get out of the car.
I just stood there.
Spider-Man ropes everywhere, and then
this dude can only come if he's standing tall. You are a sociopath. Dude.
Yeah, that's really You do have an issue.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I think you have it. Why can't you?
I will say this. There's probably a reason why you're a dribbler, Mickey, is because if you're on your back the whole time, gravity is going against you. So you have stockpiled gravity that's clogging your pipes. You know what I mean?
Maybe I can literally stood up only come like if I'm fucking vertical, Jack / horizontal. I mean
horizontal.
Like you're horizontal. On your back. You're saying?
Yeah. Like I've tried, dude. Dude, like I've literally fucking standing up. I can't fucking do it, dude. I can't do it.
I mean, I'm sure he was a lucky guy, but it's just I don't know, man.
Hey, dude, not that night. If he was lucky, he'd have got the creme de la creme, son. You know, not that night. But I don't know, dude.
I guess
I'll come better. I'll come better soon.
Where's the weirdest place you ever jerked off?
That's the tough one, dude. I've jaded a lot of places.
Oh, I got one more while you think about your answer. So I had growing up, my buddy had an older brother. None of us liked, and me and my best friend used to go over there all the time, and he had Pornomax hidden underneath his mattress. So I don't know who started it, me or my buddy, but he hid his Pornomax underneath his mattress. And we were like children now. I mean, this is gross and I shouldn't have done it, but we used to just lift up his mattress and like spread open the Pornomax to like be able to like look at like the boobs and stuff and then just jerk off under his mattress and then just drop the mattress. I would just drop the mattress and walk away.
Oh my God, you honeycombed him, son.
Just jerk
honeycombed him? Son. Ugh.
And then we would both do it.
At the same time?
No, like one after the other. Like we'd both jerk off under his mattress.
You would train his mattress? Yeah, that's hilarious. Dude.
Oh, yo. And he had to smell it, yo. It was so dirty, yo.
Oh my God. That. Yo, I once knew a guy who would, this is a very, this is how you know you're really in deep with the J game. He would get a, Ziploc bag, right? And he would put lotion and he would like warm up baby oil.
He would like make it,
put it in there.
Chi-chi?
Yeah. He would fucking zip it, fucking shake it up like a motherfucking army food, John. Open it a little bit, put it under the mattress, put the pressure of the mattress down. Yeah, dude. And then he would fucking smash his match every night, dude. Just fucking straight up banging his box spring and his mattress at the same time, Jackie, in a fucking bag, son. And he would heat it up too. That's a weird thing, dude. If you're
heated up is weird
to jerk off with, psycho.
That's weird. Yeah, I never got too into like lotion or like needed like weird shit. Like I know some people like had to have it. Like I never got into that. I could just
I've tried some weird stuff I jerked off with. I don't want to like talk about that. I'll tell you where the weirdest place I've came. And this is by yourself, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so one time, remember? I can't say this.
I've also like jerked off at most of my places that have employed me.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at.
Most of the jobs I've had, I've probably jerked off at.
Yeah, dude, they used to call me Mickey the warehouse bathroom boy. Dog, I don't fucking. Remember we'd have to go in on Saturdays for like extra money sometimes, and like I came off a drinking night, dude. And, like all the girls would just wear like their yoga pants and fucking Sophies on Saturdays, and I've been in there being like, oh, dude, they're rocking the boat, son. The Mickey Batts boat is a rocking. I go in there and squeeze this thing right off the front of me. That was a weird one. Also, too, one time, and this is going to sound really gross because it is. I went to the movies, and it was like one of like those movies where like, my mom didn't want to watch at all. So she's like, take your brothers and sisters. I think two of my brothers were with me. Right. And we had like the top row, and it was like a matinee, Angelina Jolie, fucking Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Matinee.
Yeah.
And halfway through this movie, dude, I was chubbed up, dude. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I was piped down, son. I was fucking plump.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around and I'm like, there's not many people in here, I wait till my brother goes to sleep every night on top of the bunk bed to jerk off, or at least, gets quiet enough for me to start. And my other little brother, he won't know anything. I'll move 2 seats down, top row.
Yeah.
So, dude, I sat at that top of the theater, rubbed my dick through my pants for however long that movie was, the entire time. And then finally at the end, I came and I was like, whoa, going to the bathroom, cloud of dust, dude. Even as a young man, nothing.
You edged throughout all of the Tomb Raider movie and then came, but then didn't have a mess.
Shot a blank ski, dude. Pretty sure that was my first blank I ever shot, dude. And that was point blanks, dude. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's probably it.
Did you ever have wet dreams, yo?
Oh, yeah. Couple.
That shit was the worst, yo.
I loved it. I thought I woke up feeling like a man. I'd go in school and be like, yo.
The dreams are always usually pretty good, but the afterwards, you'd wake up and be like, why is my pants cold, yo?
I used to have we used to make pillows in I think it was 8th or 9th grade, home ec. Yeah. I remember mine was a Penn State pillow.
It's like a
make the furry pillow. Yeah. And you put the John on it. You sew it on. And in the middle was stuffing. And they leave a little hole to come back and finish up. Yeah. Yeah. And I used to put my dick in that Penn State pillow hole so often, dude. Oh my God, dude. They were literally calling me fluffernutter bats, dude. It was just a big old sex cloud in that thing, dude. That was the first iCloud for me, dude. All my fucking feelings and emotions
just got dumped into that thing.
Yeah.
I remember the pillowy cotton they used. I made a Tar Heels one. I wasn't even a Tar Heels fan. They didn't have Michigan, I feel like.
Yeah, I remember everyone did North Carolina, so I went Penn State so I could give it to my dad for Christmas. Then I came in it so much I couldn't.
Here you go. I cummed in this a lot.
Yeah. All right, Maddie, what do you got for the next one?
All right, moving on. What is the first thing you ever remember stealing?
That's tough for me.
First thing of value. Because I've been thinking about it. So if you don't count corner store food items.
Nah, dude, the first thing that wasn't yours that you fucking
the first thing was probably we had a pharmacy across the street from us. And there was a
North Wales pharmacy.
Yeah, North Wales pharmacy. So it had a back
when they had penny candy. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Best.
My God, do I? Yes.
He's like, I stole OxyContin at 6 years old. It was just the right age. We just would hit it.
But you would walk out the back, you'd have 30 yards to yourself on the way out. So all you had to do was reach out, grab stuff, and put it in front of your chest, and walk out the door. No one, and they had full packs of Oreos and the goldfish cardboard, the cardboard jug of goldfish, and all pudding packs right by the door. So I'd always grab shit right by the door. But that's that's just to eat lunch,
Yeah, dude. I had mine was very similar. I remember back South Philly, I was probably literally 7 years old. Dude.
What's the first thing? What's the first thing
I remember
stole, from a mall or a value?
Mine was I literally this was back when there was a milk and bread truck. I remember my dad would think it was so fun to when the guy the bread guy would come because there was no back on the truck. And, because they would do real slow up the street. It was little orders and then to the corner stores and delis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe there was a back, but maybe I just called him every time he got out because I remember my pops would cue me, and get me by the door. I'm like, go, 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 go. And I would run. And I wasn't the only one. It was hilarious. There was other little fucking assholes like me. We'd hop up on this bread truck and take steak rolls and fucking, Kaiser rolls for no reason. You know what I mean?
They're 40 cents a piece.
Bro, so dumb. But the bread truck was literally the first thing I ever stole. I remember that. I'll never forget it. That's when I should have known my dad was a fucking low-life piece of shit, dude.
We're at the mall, Montgomeryville Mall, and in the Champs, they have Michael Jordan cologne has just come out. And Michael Jordan cologne has its own stand. It kind of looks like a locker, like an NBA locker. And there's a key and lock, and you can open it and you buy the cologne, But on the sides, the mesh netting of a locker, it's you can see through it. It's like a almost like a net, but like mesh, and it's small enough that the travel size Jordan cologne, if you take your fingers, you can wiggle it to the side and pull it through those little chain link bars, you know, and it's hard to explain, but if you remember Michael Jordan cologne, the stand it was in,
but the top would come off of it, so you would only just have the
you could fit the little tiny travel spray John, and in the cardboard box would fit through the rack, so you could stand there while people were checking out and wiggle out a cologne. And that's the first thing I ever stole, like when I was like nervous, and like it was like if I got caught stealing from the pharmacy, I just would like, I was younger then, I thought you could just like run home and like nobody would ever call me, you know what I mean? But like this, I knew like if I got booked doing this, I was going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And I wiggled that John out with my fingertips, and I had that Michael Jordan cologne. Yeah.
I just remembered like the first time I actually stole, I was an accomplice. And dude, I remember I was probably around the same age, you know, this is before I did my own heists. My pops took me to the Acme in South Philly. And by the way, guys, I know it's Acme, but we say Acme around here.
Acme.
Okay, so suck off and you fuck off. Yeah. So anyway, we're at Acme, right? And I'm at the age where like I'm clearly too big for a fucking stroller, dog. Like I don't need to be in a stroller. I have legs, and they work pretty fucking good. You know, like I walk everywhere. I remember one day my pops was like, "Come on, like you're coming with me." I'm like, "Okay," and it was probably just turned fall, right? So it was like still kind of warm outside, and he rode his bike with me on the back, like a bicycle, right? Yeah. And a stroller folded up on the front handlebars.
Yeah.
Not kidding, dude. So we ride all the way there like this. He gets up, like on the side of the Acme, puts the bike there, right? Fucking flips out the John, and he's like, hop in. Yeah. So I get in this stroller, dude. My ass is literally sunken on the floor. And he made me put on this one winter jacket he got me, / I got it from the trash or something.
Yeah.
Where he cut the lining all the way on the inside. So like on the inside, it was just a pocket as big as the jacket. And it was a winter jacket. Like it was like bigger than the starter zips. Like it was a heavy boy. And it wasn't that cold. So, you know, I'm like sweating my ass off in this fucking jacket. My ass is like sliding on the bottom of the Acme floor. Like, shh, you can hear like the coat stuck in like hitting the fucking wheel. You know, it's like, shh.
Yeah.
This guy probably gets $300 to $500 worth of like fillets. And just this jacket's unzipped. So he can literally take my collar, open it, and just drop fucking cold meats down my shit. And now I know why I'm wearing this fucking heavy jacket, dude, because this meat is cold, son. Dude, the bull gets a whole like 4th of July fucking like party's worth of like steak and shit. And then like we go around the whole store, right? He gets like a couple things. I remember too, like the balls on this fucking guy. Opens a bag of chips. He's eating the chips as he goes around the store. I'm thinking like we hit the lottery. Something happened. Like I never got briefed before these missions because he was just like, he's a better, you know, Mickey's better on the fly, dude. You know, just like
so he does
overload.
You don't even put together that he's shoving them down the back of your shirt. You like still think somehow you're paying for these steaks.
I'm thinking like he didn't want a cart. My dad's a genius, dude. You know, so yeah, dude. So like he fills it up. We get outside, like he goes through like the checkout and like buys like one thing. He might have got, I don't actually, because it surprised me. He didn't pay for the chips. He ditched the chips. He ate them, tossed the fucking bag. He bought like a Snapple, dude. You know, like one Snapple. We get outside, you know, and he like pushed me right to the side, like where the door opens. And I don't know what made me jump out of the thing. Like, I bet you he'd have walked me right out the store in the stroller around to the side where the bike was. But I was just like, I don't know if I was nervous. I just jumped up. And as I jumped up, there was like a can of tomato sauce on the outside of this pocket. You know what I mean? Not on the inside lining. And I jumped out and it fell and broke. Dude, I was so scared. And then, like, as soon as that happened, there was, like, 3 dudes in, like, Acme fucking security badges swarming us. I'm like, oh, I'm booked. Dude, they take us to the back, right? Put him in the John, take him in a little room, open my jacket. And the guy's like, oh my God, this kid is a steak meal, dude. I was like a little like Italian fucking,
steak meal.
Ravioli meal. It was wild. It was literally nuts. So, the guy I remember, dude, he's like, counting all this shit, and he feels so bad. I could tell, like, I blew it, dude.
You have cold meat all over you.
And I dropped the gravy. He knows I'm done. As soon as it happened, like, my pops didn't, like, relax. Everything's going to be okay. Just keep walking.
He's like, I'm going to murder you.
Fuck? Yeah, and just started trying to kill me. He's like, you were made. And then, the people take all this shit out, and the guy asked me, like, are you hungry? And I'm, dude, I am starving. Right? He asked me, like, how many brothers and sisters you got? I tell him, are they hungry? And the pride in me, even at that age, I was like, nah, we're fine. And the guy's like, I know you're hungry, man. Like, we have donuts. I'll send you home with them, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we're fine, dude. We're going to pay for this shit. Just like my dad's saying. There was an accident. We forgot to ring it up. This guy's fucking made of steel. So my pops comes out, right? And as like a token for stealing stuff and hardship, Acme will give you 2 free things of groceries. Yeah. It's wild. Because I remember my pops talking about it like a little bit earlier with some other guys.
Yeah, just like, stop coming here and stealing $300 worth of shit. We'll give you $40 worth of stuff to not do that.
Yeah. So, they sent us home with like, the essentials or whatever. We get outside and the guy, and my pops was like, what was that fucking guy in there talking to you about? What'd you say? And I told him, I'm like, he asked me if I was hungry. I said no. He asked me if I want to take home donuts. He said no. And then he freaks out. He's like, what? He was going to give you the free donuts and you didn't take them? Got a smack. Oh, I thought I was staying strong, dude. Took a smack for a Boston cream. Never been more upset in my life. But yeah, that's the first time I ever stole, I think. Or at least got caught.
You're an accomplice.
Yeah. And by the way, people listening, don't be upset about this stuff. I went on to get adopted by a brand new family who loved me enough to keep me for a few years before I was back on the streets. Next clip.
And if you wouldn't have dropped the gravy, you'd still be there.
Probably, dude. Mickey dropped the Raguskis. Can't ever shake that nickname.
That's another Are You a Lowlife? And we'll be back with But Where Was You At, though?
But where was you though?
What up, family? What up, family? Our next segment, one of my faves, it's called But Where Was You though? Where me and Jade basically just run through a year and figure out where we were physically, emotionally, mentally. You might hear a couple things about that year. Really, what we're trying to figure out, though, is the worst and best part of the year in question. So
there we go.
Without further ado, 2001, son. What's up, J-Dub? What was you at in 2001, bro?
Did anything happen crazy in 2001? No,
of course, dude. America was attacked, dude. That was basically the start of anything possible with Trump getting elected. Started on that day.
It was my first year of high school. Yeah, it was like my second day of high school, and 9/11 happened. But I also got my driver's license that year. So
wait, you were like what, 16? 15,
yeah,
16?
I turned 16 in May. I would have got my driver's license right away because I'm not an idiot, and I passed both my permit and driver's test on my first try.
Nice.
I was goated though. I got in the car and I immediately put on my seatbelt. We did the light test, which you don't know about because you don't have your driver's license. And I do not. And I immediately asked him, I was like, what's the worst anybody's ever done, yo? And he was like, huh? I was like, what's the worst anybody's ever done this at? And he's like, one time a girl popped the curb and hit a tree. I was like, all right, I could not hit a fucking tree.
Yeah. You definitely just don't want to be the worst at anything.
No.
That's why I don't try it. I'm like, I don't know how to do that thing, dude. I didn't have anyone to teach me.
Where were you in 2001?
2001 was actually a wild year for me, bro. That was I like to call it a transitional year you know, and that wasn't me wanting to wear a dress, baby boy. You know what I'm saying? You know, I went from property of the government to a new family. I went from, you know, foster care to my forever home, if you will, or forever family. Yeah. But yeah, I was like 11 or so.
Oh yeah, that would have been right there.
Yeah, so I got actually like I left my this was after the group home. I was at my Aunt Judy's. I lived there for a little bit, and then I went that summer to my, you know, now mom and dad and brother's house in Limerick, PA. Pretty wild year, actually. Pretty wild year. Did you
How
like
old were you,
2001?
Mickey?
I was 11, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 11. So, you know, I think I remember the day I got there, actually. It was, and, you know, at this point I lived, you know, with my Aunt Judy. God bless her. R.I.P. Aunt Jude. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. for real, dude. Guardian angel, this woman. But, you know, she took me out of, you know, the group home, whatever. I lived with her for a little bit. And then, you know, that summer, August 17th, bro, was the day. So they took me, a social worker drove me from, because she couldn't bring me, from Virginia all the way down to Philly and dropped me off. But the thing was, my new family, the Hadfields, they weren't home. My pops, this is when I found out my adopted dad was a Boy Scout. And I get there, I'm like, oh, my own, you know, we got a half a foot nook now as a dad. Oh, give me a break. This guy's half a fucking, you know. I was very fucked up as a young man, but yeah. So
low key, Boy Scouts are a great time,
dude. I'm sure. You know what I mean? I just wasn't into it. They dropped me off. You know, I never even saw grass that much, bro. At this point, you know what I mean?
Like, weren't you afraid to like touch grass?
Yeah,
did he call you gay because you wouldn't touch the grass?
My Aunt Judy used to call me a fag bag, bro. She called me Twinkle Toes. So what are you doing out there running out back? Yeah, on my toes. She said, stop that. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
She wouldn't walk on the grass.
Yeah, dude, she would throw shit at me. So I would put my heels down. I think it actually made me a good running back, though. So fuck her.
Nah, you light on your feet?
You know what I mean? Yeah, so that was wild. So I get dropped off at this scout camp. Bro, I'm dressed in my Sunday's best, right? Like I have my best outfit on because it's like, you know, first impressions.
Yeah.
Almost like second impressions because I met him one other time at a park. But so I'm at this, you know, we get there, all the food's cold and shit, you know, motherfucking, they 8 hours ago. So it's, you know, the shit's still out on the table. I remember I ate this cold hot dog, mad as shit. I'm like, fuck it, yo. Let me get a piece of fruit. You know what I mean? Grab a plum. It's the ripest plum I've ever had. Still to this day, one of the best plums I've ever had. And worse, because it sprayed all over my shirt. Oh, you motherfucker. You know, I immediately go off. I'm like, this gay shit I'm at. You know, it's a camp thing. Camps for gay people. All these guys got neckties on. You know, that can't be cool. Because at this point, dude, I come from a, you know, as you know, like a bad environment where I didn't understand, you know, I'm saying these things. I didn't really understand, you know, you can't just call everybody gay. You know, you can't do a lot of this stuff.
So, yeah, nobody, when I was a kid, my dad was like, the Boy Scouts are gay. And then, like, years later, my dad is, like, the scout leader of, like, my younger brother's, like, troop. And they do, like, the soapbox derby and they build the car thing. And I'm like, this isn't gay. I would have liked to have done this as a kid. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Camping was the best.
Yeah. That's why we're on the Low Life podcast.
Yeah, that's why I don't know how to tie
married and shit.
Yeah, I don't know how to tie any knots. And
me neither.
Yeah.
Me fucking neither, dude. And it's one thing I regret. I can't whittle anything, you know. And you know what actually used to make me do? It's so funny. When I would get on punishment, they would make me go to scout meetings in camp. Swear to God, that was my punishment. I hated it, bro. Oh, I hated it.
Did you hate it because of the stigma, or did you hate it because of like the other kids, or like you just
your dad's this
you had it made up? Did you have
like,
it made up in your mind like I'm going to hate this no matter what?
Kind of, you know, it's just like, you know, I remember one of the first conversations I had with my adopted dad. Like he said, like he's not very competitive. He's like, I'm happy you guys like sports, but just so you know, like, you know, that's really not my vibe, you know. And he said this, and I'm very competitive young man. You know, like if you're not first, you're last. you know, and one thing I excelled at was sports, you know, like I was a scrappy little dude. So like when I found he wasn't into that, I'm like, well, what do you like, you know? And he said the Boy Scouts, you know, he's like, you learn a lot of values and all this shit. And like, he didn't pitch it cool. You know, if he was like, dude, you get to shoot guns, you get to learn how to clap back to motherfuckers, dude, you know, tie a motherfucker up when they're drawn, shit like that, maybe. But no, I didn't like it, dude. I just thought it was a little, you know, Momo baggies.
Yeah.
And honestly, it is, you know, years later, these guys are getting fucked all day. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
There are some that are, it all depends, because there are some like Boy Scout troop leaders that are just like hanging out, smoking pot, and they just want to hang out in the woods, and that's fine. But my dad, he's ex-military, so he treated it. We did like a ton of like military exercises, and he would try to find places with like obstacle courses, and we were doing like search and rescue and assault team missions and different things like that. Yeah, he made it like a lot of fun. And also like he was like, we have to do, like he would chart it out, like you have to have an athletic activity that you would do with your troop mates every day, but then you'd also have time for like, he would go over like American history and teaching you how to fold flags. And like, you know, we would start out every ceremony with like how you would do it as like a military, you'd line up and you do the salute and all that kind of stuff. You treated it like, if you treated it like a military thing, it was pretty badass, you know? And like actually, learning to like train in the woods and stuff, pretty fun.
It's all useful, like how to start a real fire like a normal person, and like all of these skills are useful. But I have none of them.
And they learn a lot of cool shit, you know, like it's really cool. Honestly, my pops probably should have taken more of like initiative on the patriotism. Because think about it, dude, this is 01, you know. I come with them in August, the towers get attacked next month. You know, for me, it's like, what are you made of, Big Chief? You know, he could have rallied up the whole house if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Because back then, you know, I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck these Muslims or whoever they are. Now I'm like, maybe they got a point, dude. Maybe it was an inside job, you know, who knows? But back then I wasn't skeptical yet, you know? Yeah, it's like I didn't see the Loose Change documentary until 7th grade. And that's when like all my skepticism hit in. So maybe if he would have done that, because I tell you what, the football coach rallied me. I remember that day I'd practice, you know, and a lot of other teams were canceling shit. Not Coach Wozmansky, bro. He was like, get him here, because he was ex-military. And he took us around our field, Lower Perk, dude. In the front is a tank, a military tank. And he brought us to that tank, and he gave this amazing speech, you know, what it means to be an American, and what it means to be a man, what it means to fight for a cause. And that's what we're doing here at Lower Perk. And I'm like, I'm ready to run through a fucking brick wall for this guy, Jack, you know? But yeah, my dad, he like, again, he wasn't competitive. He's a softie, you know, Mr. Softie guy. Did you feel patriotic after the towers fell? And
felt a little fired up. I considered going to the Army, but I really did not want to go to war. Like I would have gone to non-wartime Army service.
You were what, 16?
Yeah, I was 16 when it happened, and I felt like oh, that's fucked up. Like I'm fired up about this, but I was like, I'm not going to the desert to go fire guns. There's no fucking way. It's too hot. Can't do it. Not gonna do it. Not going to the desert. It's not happening.
You remember where you were when you found out?
Yeah, I was in because it was like literally the September 11th. Like school started on like the 6th, so it was like the 4th day of North Penn, which like came from middle school, which is like pretty big, to like North Penn, which is the size of a college campus. Like it's fucking huge. Like it takes like 5 minutes to walk across the building, and we got pulled. I was in wood shop. They like turned the TV on. We like watched the second plane hit the building. They were like, yo, y'all get to go home. And my buddy drove us there. His dad was like the fire chief. And he was like, go home and stay home. And he was like, nah, we're all going to go to the YMCA and run ball because school was out. And then he wasn't allowed to go. And he got like all upset and shit. And then I walked home from his house because he was a baby and like wouldn't take me home. And then I drove to the YMCA and we ran ball.
Yeah, I remember everything too. I was in 5th grade. That's back when like you had, I think, only like, you know,
one teacher.
Nah, we were broken up then because we had like, you know, basically 2 main teachers and then, you know, like computer apps teacher, you know, whatever. Like we probably
like specialty,
had
like gym. Yeah. I know what you mean.
That's when you had like 2 and like, yeah, like 2 specialties or whatever. And I was in Miss Williams' science and math class. And bro, I was so far behind from, you know, my life prior, just being on the streets.
Not going to school?
Yeah, like I was so far behind, especially in math and science. Like, bro, math at this point, dude, I'm embarrassed to say, like, I wasn't even very good at multiplication. You know, like I didn't know how to do it that well. So I would kind of act out in those classes, you know, where I wasn't as confident. But like English history, I'm nice. You know what I mean? It was weird how I kind of took to it. But I remember, dude, I was actually getting in trouble. Like, you know, a teacher comes in the classroom, she's crying and shit. And I see all this commotion. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these people, you know? And again, I'm like, you know, I went from Philly to VA, and now I'm back in the suburbs of Philly. So I'm like, these bulls are sweet, you know? In my opinion, I never left Philly. You know, that's how I came back to the school.
Yeah.
Which is so dumb, you know, but I was a young man. So I fucking, you know, the teacher comes in, she's crying. I'm like dying. I'm like, yo, what? I said something. I'm like, you know, what happened? Cold egg roll? You know, she was a half Asian, like, you know. But then that's like how I was as a kid, dude. I was blatantly racist, and I had no idea what race was. I swear to God, like, I didn't get it. Like, I was just repeating shit that my old man would say, you know, like, I got in trouble. Like, I remember, like, first month for calling somebody a Spanish fly. They're like, dude, that's the oldest racist thing you could ever call someone. Where the fuck did you hear that? I'm like, I thought all Spanish people went by fly. Like, you know, it was wild. So I like get into it with this lady. I don't actually think I said anything racist, but possibly, you know, in case anyone wants to dox me, dude. Read the report card. It's there. She kicks me out in the hallway. And then like the principal, like storming up, like going into everyone's classroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know? So the bull like comes, he's like, what are you doing out here? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. She went nuts in there. Dude, Miss Lim, she's crying. She's acting crazy. I'm like, nobody knows what's going on, you know? And he brings me in. She's like, why is he out in the hallway? What we say? Everyone under, like, you know, supervision. And I'm like, what'd I tell you? You should have sent me out there, dude. You know, like, I'm a dickhead, dude. I'm like, she's all scared, you know, like, and then they tell us, and they put on the TV. And at this point, I'm like, what the fuck is the World Trade Center? You know, and they're like, those two big buildings in New York. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, and that was it.
Yeah. For North Penn, in 8th grade, you get a choice. You can either go to, like in public school, you could either go to Washington, D.C. for a field trip or New York City. And I went to New York City. I have pictures of myself in the World Trade Center. Where'd you go?
Sorry. I was doing stuff. A professional would have kept adding on there, by the way. You look like a Cuban, so I get it. But yeah, we did that too.
Yeah,
is that what you needed?
Did you go? You've been to New York City? You went to either DC or New York City, and I've been in the World Trade Center.
Yeah, they wouldn't let. I wasn't on the what they call it, the Good Choices team, so I didn't get to go on that trip.
Did they still have an option for New York when you were a kid?
Yeah, it was New York or DC.
I wonder where you went. Yeah, because we went to the World Trade Center as a kid. Like, you went to like that. You went to the World Trade Center, and you went to the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island.
I'm lying. I did go because I got to see the Statue of Liberty on a ferry. Yeah, that's true. I missed out on a couple other field trips, but yeah, I did do that. You're right.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to DC. I wanted to go to New York.
You remember you wait for dinner that day when the towers got attacked?
No, I don't even know what I did after running ball at the YMCA.
I did.
What?
I was like so pumped because I just got to, you know, Limerick, whatever, like a month ago or so. So as soon as I got there, like football camp started, you know? It's like I'm not spending a lot of time home with these people.
Yeah.
Like, at this time, I didn't even call them mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like, I still called him Mark and Teresa. And like, I remember it was like, I think after like 3 months, they were like, listen, if you don't start calling us mom and dad, we're not going to answer you anymore. I'm like, well, smell you later, dude. You know, because you're not.
Stalemate ensues.
I didn't talk to him for probably 6 months, dude. You know, and my
mom
like
I'm not backing down.
Right. My mom would crack and be like, hey, everything going okay? You know, I'm like, yeah, you know, everything's fine. But good night, Therese. You know,
I'm not calling him off.
Yeah. But that night I remember because I was very disappointed in this. So I just came from my Aunt Judy's for, you know, about a year or so. And she was an excellent cook. Dude, excellent cook from South Philly, you know, actually from North Philly, from the Franklin Projects. But excellent cook. We get, home, and that day, like I remember everyone else's parents were picking them up from school, and mine weren't. And I think, I don't know, maybe like later on, I thought like, I don't know if they just weren't worried about us getting bombed by, the school bus getting hit, or maybe because my dad worked at the post office. Maybe he had some like, and he's like, the kids are fucking fine.
Yeah.
But that's like when the whole hysteria started, like, we're right by the power plants.
Yeah. Remember that?
It was nuts, dude. So, yeah, so I rode the bus home feeling like kind of like, yo, these motherfuckers just gonna let me die out here, A lot of kids were getting picked up early and shit. Went home, it was taco night. First taco night. So I'm kind of hyped, dude. I'm a big taco night guy. I dude, like Mickey enchiladas, dude. There's no taco seasoning on the ground beef. Gray meat. I'm talking gray tox with nothing. She's got tomatoes, onions, lettuce, sour cream, hot sauce on the table. Great. But meat, there's
that
no
little
flavor.
seasoning packet, the orange seasoning packet, you can put on the meat. Ortega.
Son, no Ortega. No fucking nothing, bro. Which really hurt. And I was so mad. I'm like, these tacos are trash. Like, this is my life. It's just
this is what I'm stuck with now.
And then the phone rang during the fucking dinner. And my pops is like, we don't answer the phone. And then it was the coach on the voicemail, like, hey guys, this is and he would always like on the phone say his like sergeant shit or whatever. He'd be like, this is Coach Sergeant blah 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 Wasmansky.
Yeah.
I'm just calling to talk about today. My dad fucking pops up, like all of a sudden my dad's fucking Paul Revere, runs over to the phone, grabs it, whatever, they talk, and he's like, assures him, like, bring the boy to practice tonight. My dad's like, yeah, well, this fucking asshole's complaining about the tacos to his new mom who he hasn't talked to in 6 months, so he'll be there.
Love to get him out of here.
Yeah. So I remember that. I remember what I had for dinner that night. It was wild. That was a crazy day for me, yo.
Yeah, I don't remember what I had for dinner on 9/11.
You were too old. You had shit going on. You were 16. You were smoking weed and fucking playing basketball.
Yeah, I might have made my own dinner. I don't know.
Shit, 2001, dog.
Well,
So
Super Troopers came out I got my license in 2001. Super Troopers came out in 2001. I remember getting like stupid high before Super Troopers coming out. Like we like set aside money to like get a quarter, and like 4 of us like got spaceship high before going to see Super Troopers, and like loving
back
it.
When a quarter was $1.40.
Yeah, quarters were fucking expensive back then.
$1.40. They'd be like, yo, it's diesel, Jack. What do you want?
That shit would be, it's Beasters. It's fucking 70 an eighth. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You fucking break. They're like, nah, this is Nug. Nug is fire,
man. They were all White Owls. Remember the White Owls came in the tubes and they were all different colors?
Sure do, dude. I only rolled White Owls for like the first couple of years. And then
they were $1. They were 99 cents.
Yeah. And then I rolled Dutchies.
Dutchies were always expensive. And then Phillies, like for a time, I loved Phillies. Like that's all we used were Phillies. They came out with it because like that was before White Owl. That was before Game.
I was gonna say, you're right. I think we did smoke Phillies, and then we really got
only 2 options. There weren't even blunt wraps back then. Like there wasn't blunt wraps. Your 2 options were the Swisher like cigarellos, the real Little Johns, because that's all Swisher had back then were cigarellos, and then the Dutch Masters, but they were like the singles, and like remember the ones you like unravel and then crack, and then you roll that and then re-ravel.
I never did that.
That's the only Dutch Masters it was. Like now there's the single.
No, it's not, bro. I used to have 3 leaves on my Dutch, and I would lick them all down. What are you talking about?
You would do it like,
I did it like a brother, dude. I wasn't taking it off and fucking. When I would see white bulls put an L in their mouth and start deep throating, and I'm like,
I'm not even
smoking with this guy. A lot of them did. It was fucking homoerotic.
The 3-leaf one you're talking about is Phillies, where you would peel it off.
And Dutchies.
Dutchies were a single leaf.
At beginning, like you said, it was the same shit.
So there was like the Dutch Master. What the fuck did they call them? the real big ones. There was Philly Titans, and they were like the
I
real
never
big
smoked
Phillies.
them.
Yeah, they were just gigantic Phillies.
Bro,
And
I
there was
didn't even smoke a cigarillo until college. Like me and my boys only smoked Fat L's. Like that we broke it up. Doesn't matter if we had a .8. Like we would roll a big Dutch or a game. Like I never did a little boy ever until college.
Whatever there was.
Yeah. Now we only got the same thing.
I only ever smoked those. My one brother loves joints. Like we just would roll a joint, and I couldn't do it. Yo. My dumb hands, like couldn't figure it out for years. Yeah.
Me neither. I just learned how to roll a joint like 2 years
ago. It took a while, yeah.
My girl is still better at rolling J's than me, bro. I call her Wiz Khalifa, son.
It's way easier to roll a blunt than it is to roll a joint. Takes like
I don't know.
Finesse, small intricacies.
I figured the J out now. It's basically just one crease and roll. But I'm a blunt guy. But I don't smoke blunts anymore. Unless
my one older brother could roll a joint with one hand. He would like prep it, and then he could stick it to the table and then just roll it.
I had a guy like that. His name was Justin Cox. But he didn't stick it to the table. He would hold it in his hand, bro. He'd give one lick, and he had these long fingers, and he would just go like get it real tight, and then go, and it was done. Oh my god! He looked like Chris Angel, but from like Norristown or Spring City.
Do you remember clove cigarettes?
Yeah, that's what like the old ladies and the black ladies would smoke in the hood.
And like weird people boys. And weird white kids would smoke clove cigarettes.
I never met one white in my life who smoked cloves.
No, I know a couple like hacky sack kind of ish bulls who would smoke like clove cigarettes, and they would smoke. So the one bull,
you're right. The hipster bulls did.
He drove like a BM, like he drove like an old like '90s BMW, and he would roll spliffs, so it would have tobacco in it too. You know what I mean, like those things. And I had never smoked a spliff before. Didn't know that. I just thought a spliff was like the like cone style rolled. You know what I mean? Like where it's thin and bigger at the end. I didn't know it had like tobacco in it. No idea. So like I'm hanging out with them. He rolls one. I like hit it, and I'm like, what the fuck is like? I got like mad. You know, I was like, what is this? He's like, it's a spliff. Like it has tobacco in it. I was like, this is fucking disgusting. This is what you fucking weirdos do.
Yeah, dude. I had a girlfriend who was like one of those from the hacky sack group. She was gorgeous, but she was a little weird. And yeah, the one dude did smoke cloves. And I remember he would like to smoke cloves. And these guys are so weird. When it would rain, they would lay in the parking lot, like of a bar or a fucking school in a line on the thing, like a Motion City fucking soundtrack video or something, you know what I mean? And like listen to Morrissey and like smoke clove cigs. Yeah, dude.
In the rain?
In the rain.
Just like lay in the rain?
Yeah. I remember I'm like, what the fuck? It confused me so much that the next time, like, I remember me and our Marco, we were driving through, hometown as I'm dating Shorty for like a month or so now. And I see her under a tree. And I hop out. I'm like, yo, you doing one of those weird fucking things again? You know, where you go? She's like, I'm just sitting under a tree reading. And I was so immature that I didn't get it. I'm like, you're embarrassing me. Well, you guys lay in the rain. You're out now. It's in the fucking car, And she's like, what the fuck? Dude?
I'm just sitting in a park. Leave me alone.
I hated it. Yeah. But she was probably like, what the fuck, dude? That's very funny. What was the worst time of the year for you that year?
I mean, other than 9/11?
Oh, 9/11, right. That was easily the worst for both of us. Well, taco night, really, for me. Also 9/11, the date, but I realized my mom couldn't make tacos.
I forget what I did. Me and my brother were talking about this. I did something the one year right before I got my driver's license too. So it probably was like the summer before this year, but I did something to get grounded for the whole like summer, like to the point where my stepdad nailed my window shut because I used to sneak out my window.
Ooh,
and like they took like my like Super Nintendo and like TV, everything. Like they were, I forget what the fuck I did.
Now thinking about it, I actually know what the best part about it was. And like I wish it was that day, August 17th, where I, met my forever family, but it was just a hard day for me. But the real good day that made me feel really good was probably like 2 weeks after that, like end of August. Like it was actually like, we're going back to, we're like at the mall for like school stuff, And before I left, my uncle, my aunt's husband, who took me in, he gave me $100 bill. He gave me one for my sister and one for my brother. You know, he was like, make sure they get this when we get there, you know, just so you guys are comfortable. If you want something in the beginning before you're comfortable asking, you can get it, which is such a nice thing to say. And do,
yeah, it makes life easier.
Yeah, it's just like, yo, you don't have to, you know what I mean? It was cool. So we're in the mall, right? And I had this pocket full of cash, dude. And my great aunt Judy, who took me in, the angel, she loved, you know, just ironically, they were called, what were they called? Angel babies or something. They were like these porcelain little figurines.
Precious Moments?
Something like that. Yeah.
From like the Hallmark store?
Yeah, shit like that, right?
Yeah,
she loved these, but it was like this one brand, right? And it was like, you know, she had this whole case, you know, clear case. She loved it. She had like a special light in the case. It was really nice. So I see this thing and I see an expensive one, a big boy she didn't have. What a fucking whale, you know what I mean? Water shooting, penguin, the whole thing. It was like $98. And in my brain, I'm like, I got enough, you know? Go up to the front, check it out, like, you know, you want. And my parents were like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing with this thing. Like, why does this kid want this? Not saying anything yet. And the lady rings me up, bro. It's 107. I'll never forget.
Oh, with tax.
107, right? Something like that. And I turn around, you know, to my new mom and dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, guys, if you can pick up the tax on this, you know, I promise you I'll pay you back. You know, hit you with chores, whatever. I'm used to doing chores now. I'm at my aunt's. He's like, and I remember my dad, like one of the first lessons he taught me, he was like, but if you don't have it, you can't spend it. You know, and I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit, Jack.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
like,
I know what numbers work.
You're the bank in this world,
$7?
jerk off. Yeah, you know, what the fuck, dude? So I remember my mom was like, this is like one of the first things. We'll give it to you, but yeah, that sounds good. You know, good compromise. You know, she's been reading like the adoption books. You know, like, so I get it, I send it back, you know, and then I get like, we're not supposed to talk to our Aunt Judy for like, you know, 6 months or something.
Yeah,
so you can get acclimated. You know what I mean? It's like a rule. So she calls, and I remember like my mom picked up and was like, quietly, like, it's my Aunt Judy. She was like, oh, Michael, that was beautiful. Did you know I always wanted this one? And I was like, oh, she was probably just saying that. You know, it was the sweetest fucking thing ever. I get off the phone, I'm jacked up. You know, I'm excited. I'm feeling really good about myself. Broke is a joke. I owe these fucking new guys $7. Like, but yeah, that was probably the best moment of that year.
That was nice of you.
I can remember.
You were a nice, honest child.
Sometimes.
To some point. All right, so that is, but where you at though? And
but where was you though?
No, I can't do it, yo. I never get it right, yo.
That's all right, dude.
And then we shall return with a little chronicling. Good boy.
Ooh, stick around.
This is the Low Loft Chronicles. Arr.
Yo, Pam. What's up, son? This is the Low Life Chronicles, bro. I like to call it the Low Life Crimes, son. I mean, because it's like chronic. The Chronicles is like a story. So each week, basically, me and J Dubsky over there, the fucking Cuban anarchist, is going to, we're going to kind of highlight some of the times in our lives, you know. So what we do is almost pick like a, you know, a topic each week, you know, something that could be fun, interesting for you guys. And this week we thought we'd talk about neighborhood characters, you know, like the motherfuckers you came across, in your life, who lived around you, who just were like a part of your life, and it kind of wasn't up to you. So this is that, and this guy is a Cubano. Hit it.
I'm a freedom fighter.
And also, Cubans are all right by me. Pretty sure they voted Trump. What are you gonna do? I'm kidding.
So what do you got? Who's your favorite character?
I can't go favorite off the top. I'd say
I got weird ones, yo. So like
at the beginning,
in my neighborhood,
the first one you can remember.
Yeah. So in my neighborhood, I'm in elementary school. So you know, I leave elementary school like 1995. Now this man still exists in my neighborhood and is still doing everything I'm about to tell you what he was up to. We called him Irish Mung, yo.
Irish Mung?
Irish
always
Mung.
loved Mung, dude. He's a Mungo.
North Wales hero, yo. So he had, I guess he must have got a bunch of DUIs because he could only ride a bicycle. It had a big basket in the front, a basket large enough to fit a 30-pack of Milwaukee's Best. And that is what I saw him doing my whole life, riding around North Wales on a bike with a 30-pack of Milwaukee Best, and we would just scream Irish Mung at him. To the point where, like, I've been in North Wales, like, I don't know, a month ago and rolled down my window to scream Irish Mung at him.
That's awesome.
But he's just old, like, long white hair, long white beard, like 130 pounds, like 5'8", and just riding around on a little pedal bike with a 30-pack, yo. My whole life.
He's like Jesus if he lived in fucking, you know, wherever the hell you're from. Where you're from, Eagleville or some shit.
North Wales.
North Wales. The North Wales Jesus.
So then also in my neighborhood, there is the Lamb Foundation, which the Lamb Foundation does a very nice thing. They take care of people who can't take care of themselves, let's say. Special needs people. And so they provide them a life and take their like government check and like give them a life. So they walk around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like free to roam this because my town's small. It's 10 blocks. It's like 4 blocks deep and 10 blocks long. And that's it. That's the whole borough. But like there would be these like lamb people walking around and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they love cigarettes, yo. You know what I mean?
Who doesn't, dude? Cigs are banging. Let's be real.
But they love, like, they'll pick up like cigarette butts and like pick them up and smoke them and shit because they like would, you know, they have no other source of income, so they'll take what they can get. And so if they saw you smoking, and at the same time they would be over the age of 21. So at the age of 15, when I could get cigarettes, but I couldn't get alcohol, you could finagle with these people to get you alcohol and trade for cigarettes.
You'd be like, yo, broke Bobby, son, I got a shot. If you want to go get me a 40, boy, what's up?
But you had to be careful because some of them weren't cognitive enough to get you alcohol.
They would end up like getting you crack, and you're like, dude, I didn't want this.
Or they would walk into Tex-Mex and they would be too mentally handicapped to be allowed to be sold alcohol.
Hey, can I have 3?
Like no.
No. You're like, all right, and then they just put the money in their pocket or buy like a bunch of like Fritos. What do poor people even eat? Probably something like that. Disgusting.
Did you have any weird people in your town?
Oh, dude, my entire life I've had weirdo neighbors. And cool neighbors, and you know, I remember the first weird neighbor thing I had. This is back when I was on Dudley Street as a young man. I don't know if I can call her the first love of my life, but she was definitely like the first girl I ever wanted to, like, you know, put my dick in. And I gotta be honest, that sounds a little harsh, you know, because we were young people. But I was about 8 years old. All right. There was this girl on the block. Her name was Maria. And she was Spanish. And her dad was also Spanish. And he was a barber. So he would cut her hair. I remember he's the guy who gave me the fucking dickhead haircut, the bowl cut. Hated it, dude. I hated the bowl cut so much. To me, it was like the gayest haircut ever. But it was so in the 90s, you know, this is, what are we talking, you know, 98 or so, 97, 98. So, and he's cool. Like, I'd go over there, like, they had game systems. And I remember playing Donkey Kong with the, what was the John Donkey Kong? I remember this one level that, like, I beat and he was hyped, where you're on, like, the coal mining thing and you're driving.
Oh, the minecart madness.
And you have to, like, go through and you got to jump on the Donkey Kong.
Yeah, you got to time it just right.
Yeah. Was that Donkey? What was that?
Donkey Kong Island.
Donkey Kong Island. Yeah.
For Super Nintendo.
Right, Super Nintendo. He was cool, you know, so like it was fun. And then I guess me and Maria fell in love, you know, like I was a young blonde Italian boy with one eye that barely worked. She was a beautiful little Spanish girl who had a soft spotting heart for guys with one eye or something. Yeah. So one day I was over there and I was exposed to sex at an early age. Like I've told you guys the stories, or at least J-Dub, where Skinamax was a thing in my life. My pops would steal cable. The titties would be on. He would say, "Yo, Bop, you come downstairs, watch the shiny ones." He would call them that because they would rub oil on their tits. Apparently, when I was a kid, I loved oily tits and ass. So he would call them the shiny ones. I would love it. He would die laughing. So I'm horned out, probably inappropriately. So one day I'm over there with Maria and shit starts heating up, dude. I take off my sweatpants. She takes off her corduroys. I remember trying to shove my dick in her butt, fucking pushing it, and she's into it. Like, we're about to do it. Like, we're going to do what everyone's talking about. And I just couldn't get it in there. And her pops, the barber, Puerto Rican barber, comes in, and he's like, "Adios mio," "You little dirty gringo, get your ass out of here." Like, I should have known, these fucking Italians. Bro, I'm scared to death. I remember my heart beating, and I have this wonky eye, so I don't know where he really is. So if he wants to strike me, I don't even know which way to bob or weave, dude. I see 3 of this Puerto Rican guys, and when you see 3 Puerto Rican dads, much scarier than one. So I'm like, this sucks. I put on my pants real quick. I hustle out of that joint. I remember going down the steps, put my shirt. I think he's gonna kill me. And this is back before my parents got too deep into drugs. So we still had a house phone, So I run up in the crib. I'm breathing heavy. My pops is already laughing. He's like, "Yo, Poppy, like, what happened? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." I just remember him saying, like, "Why are your pants on backwards?" And I had the tag of my fucking, sweat sticking out the front. I'm like, "Yo, it was nuts." Like, dude, I'm trying to bang Maria. Her dad came in. He's like, "I'm going to fucking shave off your eyebrows next time I get a haircut." My dad's like, "Fuck that Spanish fly, dude." And I'm like, fuck him. But I'm kidding. But that's what instilled it. But yeah.
I have, so I'm like, I don't know, like 10. I have I have a apartment complex, not apartment complex, but this building next to my house that's 2 stories and it's 2 apart. It's like a house cut in half, upstairs, downstairs rental. Downstairs were like these weird people who had always lived there my whole life. The upstairs was like always changing occupants. And when I was like 8, moves in, like Cabot's talked about it on this podcast or on Matt's podcast before. The most beautiful Spanish woman you have ever seen.
Hold on,
in
real
your
quick.
Whole life.
Shout out Matt's podcast. What do we work with again?
So on the Working Perspective podcast, the Weekend Pop-In, Cabot's mentioned this before. Her name was
check
Tasha,
it out. Working Perspective podcast.
So I'm like 10. She's like 15. And then she has an older brother, Pedro, who was a monster, like always rocked wife beaters. And like, come when I'm a bit older, like, remember when 50 Cent put out those like line of wife beaters that were like cut
G-Unit.
Differently? There's like G-Unit wife beaters, like
the high square.
I had a white like wore those and like filled it out, like looked like a monster in it. So like, I didn't really know these people, but they lived next door. So like from my bedroom, I could.
He's like Baby Joker.
He jacked, yo.
Oh, so he's like little Joker.
And he was great. Like, I never really knew him personally, but so she was gorgeous. I could see her balcony from my window. So every once in a while I look out there.
Doors.
Sorry. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So one night I always wanted Tim. And so her brother one night,
I was from the block.
My mother had offered to give me like lugs, but I was like, no, like I'm not wearing lugs. Like, it's either Tim's or nothing. Like, fuck off. I'm not doing it.
True.
So he one night, I'm in my bedroom. He either smokes, I think he smoked wet or something. At the time I didn't know. And even now I'm not 100% sure, but guessing wet. Because
a lot of guys south of the border love them some wet.
2nd floor balcony. So like, I don't know, 12 feet off the ground. He one night is freaking out, making all this noise. And the cops show up and he leaps off of it. They like put him in the ambulance. The cops. So
wait, what the fuck did he jump off of?
He leaped off a 2nd floor balcony. I watched the whole thing. I'm in my window, little kid. I was sitting on my dresser. Like, I could see right through my window. I'm watching their balcony. And the cops are like yelling at him, and he like freaks out and leaps off of it.
He's like, "You don't know me, Holmes. I'm going to do it. You don't know I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it." He jumps, breaks both legs like.
Yeah, he like leaps off, tries to land it. They take his boots off, their Timbs, yo, and throw them on the ground, put him in the ambulance, and leave. I watched the whole thing, yo. It's like 3:30 in the morning, and the Timbs are there on the ground, yo.
Real quick, I just gotta say, you're a tall white guy. There's no way if this guy had Timbs, they fit you. But keep going.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna get to. So cool. I see the Timbs, right? The ambulance pulls away. Hammerstone, a couple of the North Wales cops finally like leave the scene, and they're still there on the ground. I could see them from my bedroom. 3:30 in the morning, right? So I sneak down. My house is old as shit. You got to be quiet. I got mad. I got 2 German Shepherds at the time. So like, if you're not quiet, like they go nuts. Sneak out of my crib, go back around the house, steal Bull's Timbs, sneak back into my house, bring them into my room, and like they're like fucking size 14. They're fucking huge, yo. Like I was 10, so like I don't know what size they really were, but they were fucking gigantic.
That's crazy. A Mexican guy with huge feet. That was definitely fucking big joker. That's hilarious.
I just remember like stealing the PCP guy neighbor's Timbs. I was so.
Did you wear mad socks though? Did you still wear them?
I never wore them because they were, and like I had saved them for years. They were in the back of my closet. And, like 4 years would go by, and I would try them on, and they still wouldn't fit. I'd be like, God damn it,
too big.
They never fit. I ended up throwing them away.
He might have been half Native American with those big feet, dude. They needed them. Hunting buffalo is not easy. I'm kidding.
Him and his gorgeous sister, they were, yeah.
Oh man, that's like, yeah, dude, so, that's so funny. That's just like next Friday.
My dad leaves my mom, gets an apartment, gets married to a woman, buys a house in like Telford, Souderton area, like kind of farmland, but still blocks and shit. You know what I mean? Like regular houses.
Sure.
There's a little more space than what I'm used to.
Sure.
And so he's very Christian, and he moves in. And
he's saved again, right? Your dad.
Yeah, he's born again. He's
born
again.
Christian. Born again. Right,
he's like at a church now that like is like almost like half Catholic church, half Protestant. Like it's like a little different than Catholic church, but like it's not the one he's at now is like full blown like band on stage. It's a fucking hour and a half. There's like you can get baptized in the back on the stage. Like there's a big water tank. Like it's a thing.
That's tight.
But then it's
came from heaven to earth to
so he's like
still
kind of strict. He's not like a fun religious guy. He's like we're down to like
by the book. Yeah.
Like I don't know if he was real open with homosexuality because back then like gay marriage isn't legal at the time I'm talking about now.
Bro, and that only happened when Hillary ran against Trump. Like
no, it was like 2006, but
no, it wasn't. It was literally when Hillary ran against Trump. Or I'm sorry, maybe Trump against Obama. One of them.
Yeah.
Because I think Trump did it so Hillary couldn't run on it. Gay marriage was pretty on a federal level, dude. That's pretty early.
No, it's like 2008,
pretty late. I mean,
maybe it's before Obama. But anyway,
no way. That's not true. No, it's not.
Yes,
you think gay people were allowed to get married before Obama administration? So you think George Bush did that?
Yes.
You're an idiot, dude.
God damn it. You're an idiot.
Keep going. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, I'll go on. I'll fucking prove you. You're the one who said you could, the Indians. I won't get into it.
Yeah. Fuck off.
My dad's a born again Christian, and he buys this house in Telford, Souderton area, and down the street from him, like 6 houses, is a guy who not only cross dresses, but he wears like a cheerleading outfit and like walks up and down the street in front of his house, like smoking cigarettes in like a shirt and like a nice top. You know, it's a nice top. Like whether a guy or girl, nice top.
What year is this? Where you saw a trans guy?
This is like 1998.
That's early trans days, dude.
Oh, my father.
He's an OG in the trans game.
So upset about this guy that he like makes it the point to be like, hey, because I didn't know he was there. Like we only came over on Wednesdays and every other weekend. I had like one friend in the neighborhood, and he points it out to us as like, hey, by the way, there's a weirdo who lives down the street. Stay away from there. So immediately, the second we leave the house, like that day on like bikes, you know, I'm like, we got to go see where the weirdo lives. And we like ride by, he's not out there. And then the one that like we ride like back home later on, and there he is, like in like it literally looks like a cheerleading outfit and smoking a cigarette. He's got hairy ass legs. I was just like, this is so upsetting to him. I almost want to be friends with this weirdo.
Oh, dude, one of the first.
That's when me and Justin first met each other.
Nice.
The hairiest legs in a skirt, yo.
I actually have met some. Not to get off topic here, I met some trans people early in the game too. First ever trans guy I ever met was a young man when I was in St. Vincent's group home, bro. I'm not kidding. I had this buddy whose government name, if you will, was Mario. Right. This is an Italian kid. I forget his last name, but he's an Italian kid Italian male who identified as a Puerto Rican female. He was the best, dude. Oh, 10 years old. Yeah. He was probably a year older than me. He's probably like 11 or 12 or something, but he was like already sexually active. And I swear to God, dude, he would call like all the dudes fleas, and I never understood it. He'd be like, "Oh, these motherfucking fleas and shit." I'm like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, I call them fleas because they all jumping on my dick." And I'm like, "Oh, I love this guy, dude. Mario's a bull, dude." But I would call him flea or her flea, So she was the best, bro. And this is like honestly, God, real true story. So in this home, like, you'd hear rumors of the older priest, doing stuff with the boys in the home. I never heard anything about the girls, but because it's a different floor. But I know definitely he got down with some of the bulls. And one time, bro, and this is like a little bit of a bit, but it's honestly God's truth. Like Mario got banned to the fucking supply closet, because the priest would hand out that punishment. And it was like, the bit is like, Mario was being a real pain in the ass, like, I think Mario might have been the only kid to fuck this priest back. I swear to God. Like, they were like actually had a relationship. You know what I mean? But yeah, like this priest was like, would gay shame you. So like all the kids, like were abused, would like spend the next night in isolation. It was a wild thing, dude. But Mario, I'll never forget this kid. One of my favorite people of all time. I remember walking in, dude. This is when I knew this kid was like real dramatic and like actually like a woman in his fucking heart, bro. All my life.
Yeah.
He was all upset one day, right? And not for anything we'd be upset about. It's not like his ma didn't call or something, like his parents didn't show up for fucking, parent day or whatever, which none of our fucking parents did.
Yeah.
He was upset about this relationship with father fucking gay shame or whatever. So I walk in. I remember one time it was raining and he had these respiratory issues. So he would always need the window cracked a little bit, And I walk in, bro, one night, all the lights are out in the room before, like, we were sent to bed for the night, 9:00 or something. Window was cracked. It was raining, bro. I remember seeing the rain trickle down. And he was in there singing. Is it the Backstreet Boys? I don't really know who sings. I think it's Backstreet Boys. He was like this, like looking up. He had, remember like the Eddie Guerrero mullet, son?
Yeah. The full like shaved sides.
Dog, he had the Eddie Guerrero joint, right? And he was singing, looking out the window. Tell me the meaning of being lonely. And he had a beautiful voice, dude. Mario's voice, Flea, best voice ever, but he might have been the first trans I ever met.
I got so on random crazy people. So my dad moves out of the house. My mom has this. It's just me and my little brother, and there's 2 spare bedrooms upstairs in the attic on the 3rd floor of like a twin. They're real small.
Right.
So my mom has her uncle John move into the house. Now this is her dad's brother, who's like much younger than her father, but like. Her dad passed away before I was born, so I never met her old man, but this is his brother. He's like a biker dude, and he's real like loose with it, right? So he so he moves it. I'm like 8 or 9, right? He's got a motorcycle. That's it, yeah. And he smokes mad cigs, rocks.
That's it. And did he smoke Winston's?
God, he might
definitely.
He might have smoked Winston's. So in the attic was like my dad's room. So like my dad's old baseball cards, my dad's old posters and shit used to be up there. So I used to like go up there and like sit there when he was gone and like, I don't know, mope as a child, I guess.
Sure.
He throws all the shit out or whatever, gets rid of it, and he moves in, this old white dude in a vest, and he drinks a shitload. And so it's a little tiny window and a slanted roof. So he would always be sitting up there smoking, like leaning half out the window. We'd like talk a little bit and shit, because I would go up there like fuck around with shit. And so the one day he's got the motorcycle. He's like, I'll take you to school. It was like the best day I've ever had. Like I was so hyped to get dropped off. My school was like 3 blocks straight up my street. Like, so we always went alone. Like my mom went to work, and like me and my little brother like walked up the street to school. Like at 3rd grade, we walked to school. And he's like, hey, I'll give you a ride. Hop on the motorcycle. So I get a ride to school on the motorcycle, and my neighbor's like a snitch, yo. Like she's always been upset with the way like we behave, and like was mad about it because she used to babysit us, and then my mom stopped letting her babysit us, and she like felt some type of way, like, oh well, if you let me babysit them, they wouldn't be fucking selling drugs, like that kind of shit.
Right. She thought you guys were the riffraff.
Yeah. And she felt like she could do a better job, but I don't know what their tiff was. She said something to my mom. My mom got so mad. She was like it was free childcare. My mom's like, no. I was like, but it's free. And she's like, nope, you're going here, and I'll pay money.
She's like, that lady's a bitch. She judges me too much. She's like, hamburger helper 3 nights.
But she like snitched on it. And my mom's like, I remember getting home, and like my mom making dinner, and she's like, how'd you get to school today? And I was like, what do you mean? Like knowing that like I shouldn't say, but like I was too young to be like to lie for him, like not knowing that it was that wrong. Sure. And being like, what do you mean? And she's like, how'd you get to school today? I was like, Uncle John drove me. And she's like, did you have a helmet on? I was like, no. Like, what do you mean? I was like, he didn't have a helmet on. She's like, you can't go to school on a motorcycle anymore. Like, it makes me look bad.
Like, Ma.
I remember going to bed, like her like screaming at him, like, you can't take the kids to school on a motorcycle, like. And then he had to move out, but like there was like a month period.
And then he had to move out.
Yeah, he had to move out, but like there was like this maniac, like he would come home in the middle of the night, like it was awesome. Yeah.
She's like, you don't pay for shit. I didn't get any money for groceries.
No, I think it was a thing where I think it was his sister and my mom were like best friends because they were like closer in age, and so my mom like took him in as like a favor, like she like helped her out with something and was like, hey, John needs somewhere to live. And I was like, sure, he can live here. And then he was like, he's driving the kids to school on a motorcycle, like he can't fucking live here. There's cigarette butts in the driveway every night, and he's driving the kids to school on a motorcycle. Like,
she's like, J-Dub's in the shed giving swastika tattoos, and he's 9. Come on.
God
That's
knows
awesome.
what that dude was up to. Yeah.
That's very good. Well, dude, we've met some wild neighbors. You know, I can squeeze one more in here. I know we're on a little time crunch, but I did have a neighbor who, and they were actually really nice back when I was in South Philly. Who, like, you know, my pops, as I've told you, he would just send me out to get shit, bro. He'd be like, yo.
This is so funny because you're an idiot, like for all intents and purposes. And so to hand a child like a measuring, not even a measuring cup, be like, hey, Mickey, I know you're 8 and your eyeball doesn't work that great because we don't take you to an optometrist. Go get me a cup of sugar, and then just push you outside.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, dog. And one time, I remember like the first time I really met these people. And this was a weird thing, dude, because to be honest with you, like I don't ever remember when I was still living with my biological parents them ever baking anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like no cookies, no brownies, none of that shit. But so one time my pops was like, yo, Mick, I need a cup of baking soda. And I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude? I thought it was a literal soda. I thought I was going out to get a liquid, right? So I remember the first place that I went was across the street. This was this old man on Wolf Street who would tell me if I could cross the street or not. Yeah. He would like look for the cars because I had this wild fucking blind side, Jackie. If I thought there was no cars coming, I'd walk out there. I'd be fucking frogs or whatever they call it. What's the frog thing?
Frogger.
I was Frogger, dude. I was smashed. So I went to Bull's house first. I'm like, yo, dude, I need a cup of baking soda, you know? And, no orifice to carry it, nothing. And he looks at me. He's like,
right. Doesn't give you a measuring cup. Doesn't give you a plastic bag. Just says, go get me this. And just
doesn't even give me a description of the product, dude. Talking about a bad manager. Now that I'm a sales guy, it's like, dude, what do you want me to do? So I'm going out there looking for some fucking unicorn. I'm like, hey, you ever heard of baking soda? So I strike out on the first guy. He's like, nah, man. And he's like, by the way, I'm not the guy you come ask shit for. I'll tell you when to cross the street, Jack. That's it. Don't come knocking no more. I hate your fucking dad. I'm like, all right, dude. I got it. Say less. So I go next door. And I think the lady's name, if I can remember correct, was Miss Donna. I think it was Miss Donna. She had this daughter who, say I'm 8, she's 11. She's a few years older than me, maybe even 12. I'm a freshman, she's a senior kind of shit, And this is the first time I ever really, fucked with them. Went over there and answered that. And the mom was like one of these like Italian, like neurotic ladies, and knocked on the door. She's like, hey, what do you need? What do you need? All hype. I'm like, baking soda. Have you heard of it? And she's like, yeah, I know baking soda. I have 1,000 baking sodas. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I come in there and she's like, gets out the thing, right? And she's like all over the place, like this lady. And I remember this was the first thing that made me think she was weird. She was like, baking soda, baking. She's like, yeah. She said out, she was like, I gotta put in something for you, like, hey, maybe grab a napkin. She said napkin, like Nakin.
Yeah,
napkin. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm a fucking half a retard. I got this bad eye over here.
Napkin.
I'm like, napkin? Dude, what? That's not how you say that. And I've probably never even had a real napkin. Literally, like, we weren't the family to get napkins. We didn't even have water running. So I'm like, napkin? Oh, shit. Is that what that's called? And then she puts it in a napkin. And she's like, oh, this won't do. And throws it out. I'm like, God, that's a cup. Give me that cup, dude. That a cup will work just fine. She's like, nah, I got you. So she gets out a little, what do you call it? The plastic Tupperware.
Yeah.
But she called it Pampered Chef. I'm like, dog, I have no idea what this lady's even saying. She's like, oh, I got this good thing for a Pampered Chef. What? She gives me this Tupperware thing. Take it back to the crib. Give it to my pops. He's like, I don't need that shit. I'm like, what? Dude. And I remember, like, the next time I walked outside and the lady was like, hey, did, like, your mom make some cookies or something with that baking soda? And I'm like, nah, dude. Pretty sure they wanted to cook crack with it, but they didn't. Because they did the thing
fizzled. Yeah, he's like,
fizzled.
I don't know if enough Coke now to make crack.
But they were really good people, dude. One time they took me. We can end with this if we have to, but they took me to Delaware. They had like a house in Delaware, and they asked me like, "Hey, do you think your parents let you come with us for the weekend?" And I'm like, dude, these people don't even know I've been out of the house for.
They will know I'm missing.
Yeah, we'll be fine. So I remember, like, I do that. I go with them one time, and I never been in a car that much, dude.
Yeah,
like I really never. We hooked it everywhere, or on a bike or rollerblades or something. So I remember being in this car on the way to Delaware from Philly, and bro, my stomach was feeling real fucked up, Jackie. And I had to take a shit, bro. And I didn't know what to do in the car. I'm like, I thought if you asked somebody to stop the car, like, that's got to be a big deal, bro.
Yeah.
So I remember boy asked me, like, you all right? I'm like, yeah. So my stomach was so upset. I shitted on myself in this back seat. Bro, I really did. With, like, this neighbor girl who I love. Like, all I want to do is marry her. I am, like, mulleted out, cross-eyed, the shittiest, dirtiest pants you can ever see. My head is itching. I don't know why, dude. My head is itching so bad. Right?
Rice.
I did. I did. So I'm itchy as shit, right? So, and I remember we stopped at like a rest stop, bro, and it was only like 20 minutes after I shitted on myself. And I'm mad as shit. And like, you want to go to the bathroom? And they probably smelled the shit in my pants.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to, my whole thing with my pops is like, you keep the family business in house. Like,
yeah, you don't tell them you shit yourself.
Right. So I'm like, everything's good, Chief. We almost there or what? He's like, all right, dude. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you don't have to go number 2. I'm like, nah, dude. Just went,
Just went.
Pretty good. So, dude, we go all the way to this house, and I get out of the car, right? And you know how I have a thing with grass. I step out, it's dark. It's like nighttime and like Dewey Beach or some shit. I step out onto the grass from the driveway, and all these little frogs start jumping. Bro, you would have thought Michael Myers was behind me. I started freaking out like a little psycho kid, dude. Fell on my ass on the sidewalk. All that shit in my pants. Out of my legs, dog. Pow! Shit all over the frogs, dude. Shittiest frogs in Delaware. Gotta be. And like the guy sees it, and like the girl who's like, oh my God, this dude just sat in that shit we were smelling the entire ride. I'm so embarrassed, dude. I'm freaking out. I had no idea what these frogs were. I never seen anything like it, dude. I literally didn't.
Do you blame the shit on the frogs?
There was 50 of them. I already had shitted. This wasn't new shit.
I know, but did you like everyone then knew you had shitted?
Mm-mm. They were wonderful people, dude. They completely
pretended like it.
They kept going along. They could have probably on like, 676 been like, yeah, okay, go fucking wash out those underwear. Yeah, but they didn't. So I remember, I go in there and I remember I get a shower and everything. And the dad, dude, we get there late. He's like, yeah, I gotta wash your hair with something special. And he kept saying it's for kids. And this motherfucker washed my hair for lice, treated it with like the medication stuff, and picked it with the comb. And there was just this neighbor, like this.
Yeah, he knew you had lice, you had diarrhea.
I think that's why he took me away, bro. I swear. Later on, I think
a dirty little South Philly mung.
And you know what's the craziest part, bro? Out of all this, he gave me that light shower, right? I got out, we go into the living room, he cooked something to eat. I think it's banging. Dude, it was so good. I can't remember. It was just regular food, bro. It was so good. And then he puts on like the Nick at Night kind of shit, the TV Land. Remember like the old shows? Yeah. I grew up with them. Aunt Judy used to watch them. So like, I remember like we watched like I Love Lucy and Leave It to Beaver, and then MASH was coming on, and like it played through the intro, and the girl went to the bathroom, came back and she's like, "Oh, I hate this show," and it already started. I was like, yo, you guys don't remember this episode of MASH? Like, dude, they get invaded. This is a nuts episode. And the dad's like, I like this kid. We're leaving it all, dude. And we watched MASH. It was sick, dude. Every morning I'd wake up early and go play video games, Nintendo. But that night, dude, after this guy did all these nice things for me, I'm playing in bed with his daughter. She's older than me. She's probably looking at this as like a nice thing for her dad, babysitting or whatever. I pull my wiener out because I was like doing this thing like where I'm like tickling. We started with tickling, and she's like laughing, and then I pull out my dick and like tickle it, and she's like, "What's that?" And I remember saying like a little psych, like my finger. She's like, "That's not your finger, dude. There's a hole in it." I'm like, "Dude, I got the holiest fingies you've ever seen, dude."
How did she? Yeah.
And you know what she said? She's like, I'm sorry, Mick, like, but I just want to be friends. And I was like, all right, friends touch each other's dicks, right? It was the most embarrassing day of my life. Like, first rejection.
You shit yourself, you have lice, you tried to bang his daughter, you're in Delaware for the first time.
And I'm not.
You lived it up.
Probably one of my best vacations ever. Yeah.
We gotta go. I love you.
I love you too. Is that it? Is that a wrap?
We gotta go.
Is that 35 minutes over?
Yeah, we gotta go. Not 35 over, but You're good. We're good.
What do you mean not 35 over?
I'm 35. We're at 35 for the segment. We can wrap this up.
Perfect. Yeah. Sorry. I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I was telling fucking basically a cancel story about me as a young man. Should we fucking even include it? We're including it, dude. That might have been my first hand job story, actually, too.
We'll be back. I love you.
That was Low Life Podcast. Love you, brother.
Low Life Podcast. I love you.
Thanks for everything, Matt.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Like and subscribe on YouTube at the Low Life Podcast, TikTok Low Life Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at _Low Life Podcast. Twitter's the Low Life Pod. And finally, our email. If you have any questions, concerns, you got any recipes, any dope pictures, anything like that, the lowlifepodcrap@gmail.com. Reach out to us. We'll reach back. Thanks for listening. Bye. See you.